Hey guys, it's DC here, and today we have the first ever episode of The Daily Hack. So The Daily Hack is basically my attempt at creating a podcast with a video as well. What I'm going to be doing is going over who are the leaders of different CTF websites, any new CTFs that have been released, the news that I would normally do every week, as well as some question and answers at the end from viewers. So let's get started. So let's head on over to Tryhackmecalm, where we'll find out this month's leaders, which are Tazwake, I guess, Basher, Icelinks, HTTP Deep, nice name dude, excellent name, and Nemist, I can't read half these names, they're fucking crazy. But yeah, you get the idea. So there's a bunch of guys here, some super high scores. It looks like Taz, Wake, and Basher are super close here in their scores. There's only about 500 points between the two of them. And yeah, I think it's mainly because Tazwake has more rooms under his belt. So if Basher, if you want to catch up, to do so, all you really need to do is enter a few more rooms and answer the first few questions, and you'll easily catch up to Tazwake. The all-time legends of Tryhackmecalm are Sherlock Sec, Deskel, of course, M. Davis, and Renix, followed by, in 5th place, Trolls for the win. And yeah, it looks like it's there's a lot of rooms here these guys are in. Obviously, this guy is not that far out in front, considering he's in almost 20 rooms more than Deskel. But Deskel is a bit of a community legend, I guess. He writes his own rooms as well, which is pretty cool. There are a few new hacktivities on Tryhackmecalm, which I'll load up here. So the newest one here is Inclusion, which is an LFI challenge for anyone who's interested in reversing. That's probably a good room. We got CCT 2019, which is a legacy challenge from the US Navy cyber competition team in 2019. It was for their assessment. So if you want to see what the cyber team for the US Navy had to do as an entrance exam, that is the one to have a look at. We've then got an easy one here, which is web fundamentals, called HTTP, which is basically how the internet works, which looks pretty cool, I guess. And the last one here on the list is XXE, which is a room that aims at providing the basic introduction to XML external entities. So yeah, there's 3 out of the 4 here are entry-level CTFs. So if you want to have a look at doing some CTFs, there's a link in the description for Tryhackme, or just type in tryhackmecalm. Next up in hackthebox.eu, we'll have a look at some of the rankings here. I'm not sure which teams are at the top at the moment, but yeah, let's check it out. So the A team, as per usual, they're still out in front. Mprox is pretty much the one guy keeping that dream alive for them, but man, their respect is huge. 1,353 respect, 2,133 points. The A team are absolutely killing it on Hack the Box, followed by Donkeys, Alpha Poners, Birds Aren't Real, and Security Idiots, which despite their name are doing really, really well. It's pretty tight here. After first place, like these guys are almost 200 points ahead, but these guys here are, like you can see, 1,916, 1,919. It's really tight in this sort of midfield area. So if you want to join one of these teams, if you think you're good enough to join them, definitely hit up the team leader and see if you can get an invite into that team, or maybe create your own. We'll go and check out the Hall of Fame on Hack the Box, because it's always, you know, a little bit interesting to see where people are placing themselves. So let's have a look. Hailing from USA, we have Sam Pretty, which is an interesting name, and he has a lot of points on his own. A lot of points. He's absolutely owning. Followed by XCT, Snowscan, TN3K, Neiman, And in fifth place, although tying for fifth place is about 3 or 4 different people here, is Chen123. So yeah, Hack the Box is it's going pretty nuts at the moment. There's a lot happening on there, and I definitely recommend hitting it up if CTFs or gamification learning of security principles and different techniques is your thing. Then Hack the Box or Tryhackme. Get on there. If you get high enough in the score, then I'll read out your score, and yeah, let me know in the comments below where you are on one of these websites. All right, next up on the list is some of the top news stories in cybersecurity at the moment. I'm going to jump on over to my Discord server because that's where I read all of my news from in the news feed. So let's have a look. We've got an article here from Bleeping Computer, which is Google not creating coronavirus into site to decide if you need a test. That's interesting. I don't know if that classifies as cybersecurity news, but that's okay. Pi Day, yeah, we all know about that. Slack bug allowed automating account takeover attacks. I definitely want to read about this. Let's have a look there. So Slack has fixed a security flaw that allowed hackers to automate the takeover of arbitrary accounts after stealing session cookies using HTTP requests, smuggling CLTE hijack attack on the app. So that's interesting that Slack has fixed a bug. It's I guess a bug bounty hunter reported that, and then it was fixed. I don't know if it's any of you guys who reported that bug, but if you did, congratulations on earning yourself however much money they paid out to you. DDoS attack trends reveal stronger shift to IoT mobile. Interesting. Let's have a look. Next article, working from home, COVID-19's constellation of security challenges. I definitely want to read about this article because at the moment, everyone is panicking and a lot of people are having to work from home. I'm sure if there's any professionals out there listening or watching this podcast that you're all in the sort of same boat where your staff, wherever you're working, are asking from a work from home solution so that they can avoid this pandemic. Let's take a look here. Working from home, constellation of security challenges. Organizations are sending employees and students home to work and learn, but implementing the plan opens the door to more attacks, IT headaches, and brand new security challenges. So I'm more curious what the attacks actually are. So let's go there. Researchers say that the first rash of efforts aimed at remote students and workers is likely to play on their fears and concerns about what sent them home to begin with, which is the virus. The concern is more theoretical, and you know what? I don't actually think that's it. I think most of the attacks are going to be where security staff or network staff or sysadmins have quickly opened up access for a large amount of people. So usually how it works is a company will buy a bunch of remote access licenses through their next-gen firewall or edge switch or whatever it is that they're using to authenticate VPN traffic. What they're probably going to do, and I hope they don't, but I'm sure it's going to happen, is they're going to open up RDP directly in, which would solve the issue, but also creates an enormous security risk. So I've seen it happen before where licenses aren't there. A lot of the time IT staff have RDP access anyway, which is pretty dangerous. And yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting next few months with so many people working from home and not, actually working in their physical place, and what this might mean for a lot of industries, especially like real estate. Do you think maybe organizations are going to realize that their staff can work remotely and that they don't need office space anymore? And maybe cloud technology as a whole will have a massive boom from more resources being needed to meet the requirements of people working from home and connecting in rather than like an on-prem or hybrid setup. That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be an interesting next few months though, so I'm keen to see how it all plays out, but I wish everyone the best. All right, let's have a look at another story here. So a bug here in WordPress. I'm not surprised, there's always bugs in WordPress. Another coronavirus themed attack. it's going to happen everywhere, unfortunately. US government shares tips on securing VPNs used by remote workers. So this is literally what I was just talking about. And I'm not surprised that this is in the news and that it's a massive concern. So we've got here, they tweeted US.cert_gov, is your organization teleworking because of COVID-19? Here are some go.visa key recommendations on enterprise VPN security. So it's basically just trying to teach here people to, make sure that their connections are actually secure and to use VPNs and not have a direct RDP straight in like I predict a lot of people are going to do. They go on here to say in this article, organizations may have a limited number of VPN connections, after which point no other employees can telework. Literally exactly what I said with the licenses. With decreased availability, critical business operations may suffer, including IT security personnel's ability to perform cybersecurity tasks. So they've got a list of things here that they're recommending you do, which are keeping VPNs, network infrastructure devices, and devices used for remote work up to date by applying patches, notifying employees of expected increase in phishing attempts, probably and more likely related to coronavirus. Ensuring that IT security staff are ready for remote log review, attack detection, and incident response and recovery. Implementing multi-factor authentication on all VPN connections or required employees to use strong passwords to defend against future attacks. So this is another actual license fee that a lot of people have to do, where they have a virtual SMS system, which is sending out messages to those remote workers' mobile phones, so that there's a multi-factor authentication. So what they would do is they go to log on to the website where the VPN is, or however they're connecting to their VPN. They'll type in their password along with their username. It'll then send them a code to their phone. They enter the code, and that's how they get in. That's sort of how a very common multi-factor authentication system works. But it does cost money. Each SMS costs money. It's not that quick either, but it's secure. And it's convenience over security is going to be a big battle here, I think. And the last recommendation is testing VPN infrastructure limitations in preparation for mass usage, and to take measures such as rate limiting to prioritize users that will require higher bandwidths. So that's for people who are doing really heavy work that's going to take up mass amounts of bandwidth, to set up some maybe like QoS rules or something to help them achieve the sort of connection speed that they require to do their job. So it's a pretty interesting situation at the moment with a lot of people having to work from home. A lot of the people that I've been doing work for in the last couple of weeks or months actually are starting to cancel meetings that they were going to go to. And a lot of them are quite thankful for the security approach that I've taken on securing their computers. And it's an interesting sort of time at the moment. And I'm curious to see how it pans out if organizations are going to perhaps take away office space and look more towards remote working solutions. How they're going to go about going back to work, and which businesses are just going to not be able to work remotely and will eventually close down. Anyway, we're on to the last segment of this podcast, which is for you guys to ask questions. I don't have any questions from last week because this is the first video, obviously, but if you put any questions that you have in the comments below, and I'll try and answer a few of them in the next video. So that's all we have time for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please do smash that subscribe button if you're new here. I'll see you next time, guys. Catch you later.